Shalom, Saints. If you are a part of a community or a home assembly within Straitway and interested in submitting a video for Straitway TV, please have your leadership reach out to Michael Israel. Bless you.
Shalom, this is Sister Jordan, and today I will be showing you how to make Greek yogurt at home. It is so easy and cost-effective that you will not want to buy it from the store ever again. Bring your whole milk to 180 degrees on low heat or medium-low heat. I will be using Great Value whole milk. If you accidentally go over 180, that's okay. Then cool your milk all the way to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Pour it through a fine mesh strainer into a stainless steel container or glass container for fermenting. If your pot is already stainless steel, just skim that film off of the top with the mesh strainer. If you are using a recycled pickle or olive jar, I would suggest putting a piece of plastic between the lid and the jar because that rubber seal can sometimes hold the very strong odor of the pickles or olives. Use existing yogurt from the store or from a previous batch and gently mix into a small portion of the milk. Then, once you have mixed this thoroughly, pour it into the remaining of the milk. You will need 1/4 cup of yogurt for every gallon of milk, or 1 tablespoon of yogurt for every quart. It is best to use plain yogurt for this. However, if you only have flavored yogurt, that will still work. Cover your container with the proper lid or plastic wrap to get ready for fermentation. You want to keep this yogurt at 115 to 120 degrees for several hours. I will be using this oven. It stays at perfect 118 degrees Fahrenheit because it has a pilot light on the inside. However, you don't have to do this. You can use a Cambro. You can even put a pan towards the top to place your jars on because heat does rise to the top. You can also use a cooler and put your jars inside of the cooler, wrap them in blankets or towels. Many times I have used this cooler bag, placed my jars inside, and filled the remaining of the space with towels. You know your yogurt is complete when you tip the jar to the side and the yogurt comes off in one large chunk and separates from the side of the jar. If it only separates partially and doesn't look like one solid piece, or it still looks liquidy, it needs to ferment longer. In the perfect conditions of 118 degrees Fahrenheit, my yogurt in these large pans takes 5 hours to reach this point. Fermenting longer than necessary will result in more beneficial bacteria, however the yogurt will become tart. Now you can refrigerate your yogurt to let it set and do this step the next day, or you can do it now if you handle the warm yogurt very gently. Use a small upside down bowl to prop up a strainer in a large bowl, so that it will not be sitting in the whey that collects at the bottom. Use a cotton material like a t-shirt cut open, a cut open pillowcase, or a piece of a sheet. I do not suggest cheesecloth. You can, however, use a very sturdy paper towel such as Bounty or Viva. Make sure to overlap the paper towels where there will be no holes or openings. If you have a gap, yogurt will leak through, and that is not what we want. We want only the whey to go through this material. Gently pour the first scoop to be sure that the paper towels do not separate. Fill your strainer with the yogurt. Remember to be gentle. This yogurt is warm and has not fully set. In the beginning of the process, this is what it looks like when the whey is straining from the yogurt. This takes a while to achieve Greek yogurt consistency, so we will let this happen in the refrigerator overnight up to 24 hours later. It is helpful to be sure the strainer is level so you don't have any accidental spills later on. Now I am tying up the excess material so that the cloth does not sit in the whey that will be collecting at the bottom. Because this is going in the refrigerator, I'm going to thoroughly cover it with plastic wrap to protect it from that typical fridge odor that can permeate into food. You can strain the yogurt on the counter, however, it will continue to ferment and become tart. This is what our strained yogurt looks like about 24 hours later. I have found that the perfect Greek consistency is straining out half whey from the amount of milk that you had. For example, 1 gallon of milk, strain out half a gallon of whey. Whey is full of vitamins and minerals. It is great to use in smoothies, in baking, or in making bread. However, if you don't have a use for it, you can always give it to your farm animals. If you decide to keep the whey, it would need to be kept in the refrigerator and used within a few weeks, just like yogurt. Often straining the whey from yogurt results in a yogurt that is less tart. Dump the yogurt into a mixing bowl. If you have paper towels, hold on to the paper towels as best as you can. Ideally, it will come out like this with no paper towel falling into it, but more often than not, the paper towel falls in and you just have to carefully pick it out to make sure you don't eat any later. This strained Greek yogurt is so thick that I'm going to quickly utilize a mixer on low speed to break up some of these chunks. Feel free to add in more whey to get the consistency that you like. This is the consistency of removing half of the whey from the amount of milk as stated earlier. Remove even more whey for a healthy cream cheese substitute in any no-bake recipes. Before flavoring your homemade Greek yogurt, be sure to set some aside for a culture for the next time you make it. You can reuse your yogurt like this several times before you notice it starts to make the yogurt tart from changing in its chemical properties, in which case just buy a new one from the store to restart the process. This batch of yogurt will be flavored honey vanilla. Because the honey is very crystallized, I'm going to use a mixer on high speed with the honey, vanilla, and a small portion of yogurt. Over mixing your yogurt will cause it to be thin, so just use a small portion to thoroughly mix with the flavor and then gently fold in the remainder of the yogurt. Fruit-flavored yogurt can be made by blending the fruit with a small portion of yogurt and then folding in the remainder of your Greek yogurt. This next flavor is chocolate, so this is an experiment. Leftover chocolate syrup, dark cocoa powder, and sugar. I will be mixing this on high with a small portion of yogurt with the hand mixer and then folding in the remainder of the yogurt. By far the best flavor I have ever made has been strawberry vanilla. It was created by cooking down strawberries on low heat until a lot of the moisture is gone, similar to resembling jam, then adding my sweetener and folding that into the yogurt with vanilla. It tasted like strawberry cheesecake. Experiment with different flavors, see what you like. The options are endless. Let me know in the comments how you use your homemade Greek yogurt. You can see here that the mixing has thinned the yogurt a bit, but refrigerating will thicken it back up. I hope this video has helped you in your journey in making homemade Greek yogurt. Comment with any questions and I will do my best to respond. Shalom and have a beautiful day.
If you are a part of a community or home assembly within Straitway and interested in submitting a video for Straitway TV, please have your leadership reach out to Michael Israel. We welcome more righteous content.